Okay, today we're going to be learning about multiplying integers. But first, let's take a look at our word problem. Alicia owes $6 to each of 4 friends. How much money does she owe? This problem can actually be solved using integers. Owing $6 can be represented by a -6. Thus, the problem becomes -6 times 4. The parentheses indicate that these integers are being multiplied. In order to solve the problem, we need to know the rules for multiplication of integers. So let's take a look at our 2 rules. Please follow along as I read. Rule 1. The product of a positive integer and a negative integer is a negative integer. Rule 2. The product of 2 negative integers or 2 positive integers is a positive integer. I'd like for you to go ahead and pause the video and write those 2 rules in your notebook. Go ahead and do that now. Well, welcome back. Hopefully you've written down those 2 very important rules for multiplying integers in your math notebook. So let's do a couple problems and a couple of examples of multiplying integers. And we're going to figure out the product, and then also we're going to figure out what rule we used. Here we go. A +7 times a +3. Our product is going to be a +21. And the rule that we used is rule 2. Let's look at another example. We have a +7 times a -3. Our product is going to be a -21. And the rule that we used was rule 1. Another example. We have a -7 times a +3. The product is going to be a -21. Can you guess the rule? Rule 1. Let's do one final problem. So -7 times a -3, the product is going to be a +21. Can you figure out the rule? Rule 2. So if we take a look back at our word problem, Alicia owes $6 to each of 4 friends. How much money does she owe? So we're going to a -6 times 4, a +4. It's assumed that it's positive. You don't need the positive sign. I'm just putting the positive sign that you know that it is. So a negative times a positive is going to be a -24. And that would be our answer. So now it's your turn. I'm going to give you some more examples for you to do on your own. Let's see here. -9 times a -5. -14 times a +3. A +11 times a -2. Last one. And I'm not going to put the positive down because it's assumed that it's a positive. And 8 times a positive 8 times a positive 4, but again, I'm not putting the positive sign because it's assumed that it's positive, and you're going to, so 8 times 4. So what I'd like for you to do is you're going to figure out the product of those 4 problems, and then you're also going to write down which rule was used. So go ahead and pause the video, please, and figure out the product and the rule. Well, welcome back. Let's go ahead and go through these problems. So a negative 9 times a negative 5 is a positive 45. And the rule used is number 2. Let's do the next one. A negative 14 times a positive 3. The product is a negative, because it's a negative times a positive, is a negative 42. And the rule that we applied was rule 1. Okay, the next problem. 11, a positive 11, times a negative 2. When you have a positive times a negative, you're going to get a negative 22. And the rule that was used was rule 1. Last problem. A positive 8 times a positive 4, you're going to get a positive 32. And the rule that we used was rule 2. Well, hopefully that this will clarify the multiplication of integers and the integer rules when multiplying.